Hello there. Hi, I'm Jo Wilbintrot and welcome to the Amijo show. This is a very special edition of the Amijo show. And I'll tell you why, because on Saturday, I had the delight of interviewing Susan Stillman, who is a drama teacher in a I can never say that word, preparatory school,
Prep
just
school.
about, in London. And she came up with just the most incredible, creative, tech-free ideas for your children during this time of staying at home. I hate the word confinement. I am going to erase that from my dictionary right now. For this period of staying at home with your children. That sounds so much better. So she came up with lots of ideas. Go to that episode. That was episode 4. But today I asked her back on the show because at the very end, she threw in this low baller and she said, I've got an idea to share with you, which is that we, as a family, used to play this game, and it was live Cluedo. And the conversation that ensued was just off the scale exciting. I was positively like jumping on the sofa. Last night, my girls and I sat down after supper and we came up with our own version of live Cluedo. To say it was epic, and it's a continuous game, and as you will discover as Susan explains it, not me, that it is just a game you can play for weeks and weeks and weeks. I mean, it's so fantastically clever and smart and perfect for staying at home now. So just to put it in context, I have to get I need to keep my voice down. I have to get my daughter, Cora, into the garden with the remote control to kill her. God. Okay, so that's what I need to do. No mean feats, but bring it on, hopefully when the weather gets better. So that's what I need to do. And that is, but I'm going to let Susan take over from here. She's going to explain step by step how you at home, over the next however many weeks we're at home, can play the game of live Cluedo with your family or your housemates. Over to Susan.
Thank you very much, Jo. So yes, this was a Christmas game. We only did it a couple of times as my niece and nephew, who are young adults, got older when I was a child. And it was my niece who introduced me, and I really need to find out who came up with this game because it is amazing and it is one of the most fun things I've ever done with my family in that period over Christmas, when everyone knows you can start making each other crazy, but actually if you do this, at least you're making each other crazy for a fun motive. So I will explain this game as if 4 people are playing it, just because that gives me a nice, easy, hypothetical number of people. So organizer of the game, whoever it is going to write on pieces of paper the names of rooms in your house, and you can have 100. If you've got 100 rooms in your house, you could have 100. You could have every single room in your house if you want, but you just need a minimum of the number of rooms, 1 for each person who's going to play the game. So let's say I've got 4 people in my immediate family, so there will be 4 rooms for that. So I have written on bits of paper, kitchen, bathroom, lounge, Susan's bedroom, for the sake of having a name, so you all know what you would call the rooms in your own house that you all would recognize. Then it sounds, Jo, from what you said, like you chose the most challenging way of then kind of expanding on this, because on each piece of paper which has a room on it, you also need to put the name of an object. The easiest way to do that is to have an object that's in the same room but already. So as I think I gave the example last time, I had the kitchen and I had the toaster. So that was very easy to kind of get the person in the room with that object. But you've got the garden and the remote control, where you'd actually have to find a premise to get the remote control there in the person's hand to do it, but that's fine too. So the basic idea is, on every piece of paper, you need to write the name of an object. So I'm going for, and make it fairly specific, if it's, you know, it could be just a fork, but if it's a hairbrush, you know, make it specific. I've put mum's hairbrush in the kitchen. Let's say I'm going to have, in my bedroom, I'm going to have a shampoo bottle. So here I am, it says Susan's bedroom shampoo bottle. Let's say in the bathroom, it is going to be a yoga mat. So in the bathroom, I'm going to get somebody with a yoga mat. There it is. And let's say in the lounge, it is going to be a bag of crisps. So here I go, written on the same piece of paper, bag of crisps. Now, you can do that where everyone pulls a room and then writes an object on themselves and then you go back in the bucket, or you can just organize all that yourself, depending on how much of a mastermind you want to be. So I'm going to take my 4 bits of object and room paper, fold them up so I cannot see what's on them, and I'm going to put them into bowl A. And then on my second set of bits of paper, I'm going to write the names of everybody who is playing the game. I've written the names of my immediate family, my brother, my sister, me, and my mum. And I'm going to put those into another bowl. 1 second here. Bowl A, bowl B. So bowl A has in it all the object and rooms over here. Bowl B, folding them up. Here goes Susan, here goes my brother Peter, here goes my sister Jane, here goes my mum. We're all going in here. So I've got 2 of these, and then mix them up and get everyone together in manner of Hercule Poirot, who's going to play the game together. Everybody needs an object room and everybody needs a person, and you're all going to pick one of those each out of those 2 bowls. So now I open them up. I do not reveal to anybody. I do not show anybody what I'm going to do. But my aim now in Cluedo is to murder the person on the room, on the person paper, by getting them into the room on the room paper, touching the object that is also written there. Okay, so I need in this game to murder my mum in the bathroom with the yoga mat. That's the Cluedo aspect of it. Now, I am not going to obviously tell anybody, including my mum, that this is the aim, but when we're all least suspecting it over the next hours, days and weeks, I am going to find a ruse to get that yoga mat into the bathroom, to get my mum in there, standing on it, holding it, giving it to me, wrapping herself in it, something, and then, and only then, will my mum, in the game of live Cluedo, have been murdered. So that is the basic premise.
Oh my God, it's fantastic. And yeah, no, well done, well explained, well explained. I love it, I love it. Obviously, it's so typical of me. I've made things very difficult for myself. I obviously see this was why this was so important, because I forgot that bit that you said it has to be in that room and it stays there. I remember you saying that now, but I just forgot it. I got too excited, I think. So I may reconfigure. We may reset the game that we're playing at home.
I like the way you're doing it, and I also think that that's almost like a challenge level, depending on the age of your children. If your children are, you could probably get away with playing this with like 7-8-year-olds. Like if they, you know, if they kind of get the premise of it, and then maybe you do want a bottle of shampoo in the bathroom and mum's hairbrush in mum's bedroom, like that would be easier. But you can definitely add challenge by saying they've got to get both the object and the person in there and make that ruse a little bit more challenging. Well,
and so yeah, and I think it kind of works actually. It's just even more quirky, isn't it? And it'll make it longer.
Yeah.
Because you know, to get my daughter with the remote control into the garden
when she's already suspecting it.
She does love TV. So if when she's watching TV, like her favorite show or something, and she sits there on the set, they sit there, don't they? It's like attached to them. It suddenly becomes part of their hand.
Yeah.
It's like a long finger that is stuck to their hand because they need to sit there and go. I could scream, "Oh my God, come to the garden! Look at, oh my God, there's a fox in the garden," or something. I don't know. I'm gonna have to work on that. My Amdram days are a long time ago.
Yeah.
So super glad that I got you on. But right, you can, and also you can play it with friends. We were saying that you could almost include a grandma who lives in her home, wherever, Brighton, and she could be one of the characters. So grandma at home, you know, in obviously, you know, in her kitchen, which is where she does her Zoom calls or something. So,
yeah, you could do that. You could have some, I mean, if you can make her that in on it, yet not super suspicious when you're on your Zoom.
You know, and have and you know, and it would have to be something really parochial, like mugs. See, my brain is just, I think I'm a bit crazy, really. My brain is good. Anyway, listen, you seriously need to patent this. You need to, I know you've got nothing else to do apart from running a whole drama department. So you need to get this formalized, you know, to get it boomed out. You know, it's all happening, Susan. It's all happening. So coming back to our game, what we did, I said to the girls, well, we need to specifically take articles that we would move around the house very easily. She says, and I'm talking about a remote control.
Why not?
What if I'd got the bathroom? Oh God, anyway. But so we picked really kind of items that we would easily move around the house, apart from the remote control, which I've ended up. So it looks like I'm basically dead already, but that's okay. That's fine. I will.
With multiple, my niece reminded me, because I rang her up to kind of get tips, and she reminded me that I think I mentioned it in the little document that I made, but that you can, if you murder someone, you're in the pure original version of the game, you're supposed to take over their task as well. So if you have more people, that makes it easier. But if you then have to murder their person too. You have to surrender.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. And then that keeps the game really kind of, great. So I will upload the notes that we made before. Again, you made before, sorry, you sent to me. And yeah, fantastic. But yeah, just something to do tonight, right? Just get that all kind of like, you know.
I need to find out who invented it, because it certainly wasn't me, and it wasn't my niece either. But I need to find out from her where she got it.
You know,
if you look up online Cluedo, you get the kind of murder mystery, you know, party game version, which isn't quite the same. I think this is so much easier and more immediate to play with your family.
This was instant. It's like, you know, we got post-it notes. We stuck 2 post-it notes together to make little cards.
Nice.
Like little coloured post-it notes, because obviously I used 3 pots instead of the 2. And
you can do that. You can do the objects totally separately as a
which was,
if you want to.
But it would probably be easier to do things like a mug or you know, or toothbrush or. Well,
you're clearly up for a challenge, Jo. You've made it as challenging as you possibly can.
I know. Well, it's me. And maybe not use the garden. I mean, look at it. It feels like -10 outside. It's freezing.
Well, it's supposed to improve, isn't it?
I think I would scratch the garden. I'm going to scratch the garden. I'm going to pick a different room, because I have made myself. I'm just going to keep being killed if I carry on like this with this kind of thing. Right. Anyway, thank you so much, Susan. And already you've mentioned that you're available you do have a full-time job teaching drama for St Thomas's, and you've got lots of things going on with them, like a festival, which is really exciting, haven't you?
Well, that's the plan. I haven't had it approved yet. Let's see.
And I wasn't meant to mention your school. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
But also I think you said that you can do some tutoring if there are some parents with children that want some specific drama help right now, age from 4 upwards. You've taught all ages, haven't you, really?
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, fantastic. Okay, thank you for your time again. I'm sure we'll catch up again soon, and enjoy your afternoon.
Thanks so much. See you soon. Bye.
Bye. Bye.